Hello there and welcome to another vlog. It feels really weird having not like vlogged from here for a little while because the last vlog from home, oh gosh, I feel like it was like beginning of April. So sorry, it's been a bit manic here with so much going on, but figured it was time for another one. And I'm excited to share with you some fun stuff. The first thing that we get to do is unbox some things. So I actually have two parcels here that we get to open together, and I'm actually really excited about that. Do I hear Cleo? Yeah, I do. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. She's like, absolutely not. Hi. Hi. Hey, pretty girl. I'm gonna open some things really quick. So, do you want to not be on top of me? No, I want to be on top of you. Okay, so the first thing, this has been an absolute journey. I wanted to do this as a video at the end of March, but this package got lost in the mail. aka Hermes, lost the package. Like, it got sent out fairly quickly, but it just never arrived and they basically lost it. And so I wasn't able to actually do the unboxing video, but I have it now. And so this is a book mystery box from a brand called What's in the Box. I saw it on TikTok literally once and I was like, ooh, I love that. Basically, from my understanding, given it's been over a month since I have ordered this, but luckily the team at What's in the Box were really great. When I did share with them that I never received my parcel, they sent me out another one fairly quickly, so all is good. But from my understanding, also this is not sponsored, this is a box that contains 4 books and I got to pick 2 genres. I picked romance and mystery. They didn't have a fantasy option. I would have picked that if that was one, but I do like romance books and I do like mystery books, so I figured that would be a good couple choices for me. But you get to pick from a couple of genres and they will send you 2 of each genre. One that's like an over 3.5 rated on Goodreads book, and then one that you've not heard before for each genre, so totaling 4 books. And I'm excited about it because, like, trying out mystery books is a bit of fun and I've never done it before, so I figured it'd be fun to open this together. I have no idea what I'm gonna get. I also think, I could be wrong, we'll find out when I open this, but I think they're all used books, which is great because then I'm not contributing to the environment. But so this is what it looks like. First off, I've got a little bookmark that says lost in a book, found in imagination, and oh my goodness, little bookshelf on the back. That's cute. Oh, and you can highlight the books that you've read. They're all like very much so like the classics, like Great Gatsby and Frankenstein and Catcher in the Rye and Coraline's not, Dark Matter, The Glass Hotel, Handmaid's Tale. Definitely some things that I could want to read in here. So let's pull these out. I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, yeah, they're definitely used books, which I love. So the first one that I have is Leap of Faith by Danielle Steele. I think that's what it says. And this is a compelling story of the power of lies, the misuse of trust, and one woman's triumph over a devastating betrayal. Ooh, I like the sound of that. Marianne Hawkins has the kind of childhood that most people dream of. Freedom, love, and security in a beautiful old French chateau. Ooh. But when she's just 11, a tragic accident marks the end of this idyllic life. Orphaned and alone, she is sent to America to live with her great aunt on a farm in Iowa, where she's forced to work while dreaming of returning to her beloved chateau. Only the friendship of a local boy, Billy Parker, offers a comfort and hope. When an unexpected visitor brings some startling news, she returns to France and meets the chateau's new owner, the Comte Bernard de Bouchon, a dashing widower who invites her into his home and his heart. Sounds like a romance. For a time they enjoy a magical life together until Marie-Ange hears a shocking story so chilling that she can scarcely believe it. Not even her dear friend Billy can help her now. As the darkness gathers around her, she must find the courage to take one last desperate step to save her loved ones and herself. So it sounds like a bit of mystery and a bit of romance in there. Very much looking forward to it. It looks like a nice kind of small read, so it's less than 300 pages, and like this is a really great book that I could just like pop in a bag and bring with me to read somewhere. So that's exciting. The next one is Liar by Leslie Pierce. Can she find the killer before they find her? Who knows? So this one says, Amelia White didn't expect her career as a reporter to start like this, by finding a young woman's body just around the corner from her shepherd's bush bedsit. Love that it's set in the UK. I feel like I can relate to it because like I know the areas a little bit. I love that. And with rumors already spreading around this poor murder victim, she seizes her chance to write the true story. Do love a bit of true crime. Obviously this is fiction, I believe, but yeah. When more bodies are found, the police are baffled. Reporting on the story, Amelia meets a witness as well as suspects. If she can only work out who the liar among them is, she may be able to stop the murders. Or she might turn herself into the next victim. I'm excited about reading this. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a fun read, it sounds like. So, yeah. Amazing. This is gonna be fun. I really like this. It's like Christmas. Okay, so the next one is called The Perfect Girl by Gilly Macmillan, which I haven't heard of, but it reminds me, like the cover reminds me of Gone Girl a little bit. To everyone who knows her, Zoe Maisie, child genius, musical sensation, is perfect. Yet several years ago, Zoe caused the death of 3 teenagers. She served her time and now she's free. Her story begins with her giving the performance of her life. By midnight, her mother is dead. The Perfect Girl is an intricate exploration into the mind of a teenage burdened by brilliance and a past that she cannot leave behind. That sounds very interesting. Again, so I feel like these two are the mysteries so far, and this is the romance, but like also mystery kind of. And then I have one more, which I'm expecting to be very romancy, and even by the cover, you can tell this is like, I mean, obviously it's not one of those like ones where the 2 people are like half naked on the cover, but this is Sea Glass by Anita Shreve. It looks like it's set at some sort of beach. I mean, it's called Sea Glass. It's some sort of beach romance. So New Hampshire, 1929. When Sexton Beecher proposes to Honora Willard, she lays aside his flaws as one might overlook a small stain in a beautifully embroidered tablecloth. But as the couple begin their new life in the house at Fortune Rocks, their love is about to be tested to the limit. For the Wall Street clash has as little time for dreams as it does the mill workers nearby Ellie Falls, who are readying to strike whatever the consequences. Interesting. So literally none of these books would have been ones that I would have picked up at the store. I mean, maybe The Perfect Girl, just because I like the cover, but I don't know. I do definitely judge books by cover unless it's been recommended to me by other people. Yeah, I'm gonna judge a book by its cover because that's what I have to go off of. I'm gonna be like attracted by something, and so like seeing that on the cover wouldn't be something I would like pick up and think to read. But after reading the backs, I feel like I would definitely enjoy all of these. So I am really excited about getting these books and hopefully getting through them and reading them. I'll definitely let you know my ratings on them when I do end up reading them. I'm currently like 2/3 of the way through a book at the minute, so I'm gonna finish that before reading anything else. But I can add these to my bookshelf just there and get them into my Notion and my like TBR and all of that stuff. So yeah, I really love this. I think this is so fun. Also, this box was only £25, which is pretty good for 4 books. Because typically if you're getting a paperback book at like Waterstones or something, it'll be at least £10. So 4 books would normally cost like £35 to £40. So getting them all for 25 is a pretty decent deal. I mean, I don't care if they're used. It really does not matter to me. As long as they're not like written in, then I'm good. So 4 lovely new books that I'm very, very excited about. And then I have another package here. This one, you can tell, is not books. It's far too flat to be books. But I ordered this the other day, and it came incredibly quickly. Okay, so it's actually some jewelry from a brand called Boho Moon, which apparently does waterproof jewelry. So all of this is nice stainless steel stuff. So Boho Moon. I don't know if they ship throughout the world, but they definitely ship to the UK. And I got 4 things. It definitely wasn't cheap, but I got 4 things. They all come in these little baggies. Doo-doo. So let's open them up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this first one that I got is a like chain necklace with this like black bit in the middle, and it's choker length, so like tight. Okay, and I can make it tighter than that even if I wanted it to like sit there. I could probably get it to sit there, but it is choker length. And I really, really like the like bit of design in the middle. I was tempted to get one. I mean, I actually did get one that's a little bit longer than this that doesn't have the like stone. I don't even know if it's a stone. It probably isn't. But I like that little bit of detail that adds to it. I think this one is the one that's a wee bit longer. So it is similar sort of chain style, but a little bit of a pattern in it, and ever so slightly longer. So if the choker sits there, this one just sits just below it. I really like this. I've been wanting to like get into more jewelry now that I've gotten into rings. I feel like it just goes with the vibe to add even more jewelry in there, which is exciting. Next, I have a ring, and basically I wanted to try this shape because, like a wishbone shape ring, because eventually I'm going to need to get a wedding band to go around my engagement ring, and I wanted to see if I liked this sort of size to go with, obviously, so this wouldn't be my wedding band, but sort of having a stack like that. I wanted to see if I liked that sort of thickness, which I think I do. Obviously they don't sit perfectly together, but I will need some sort of wishbone shaped ring to go around my engagement ring. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a maybe. What do you think? Okay. So I got that, but that's a stainless steel one, and that one can go around like anything. I could just like add it to the top of that if I wanted to. Or my little cat skull. So like I have possibilities. Basically I got this one because I knew I could like wear it with a bunch of different things. And then the last one is another necklace, but this one, it's one of the like bar closure ones, like that. Again in stainless steel. I think it's about the same length as this one. I just really like the way the bar closures look. Let me take that one off. I just like the way the bar closer sits. I think it looks really nice. Just adds a little bit of extra intrigue to it. Oh, this one's twisting. That's why it's being so weird at the minute. The choker. I didn't put it on straight. But yeah, I just felt like adding some necklaces in goes with the whole vibe that I'm currently not necessarily working on, but it feels like I'm like figuring out myself and like my own personal style and fashion. Given I'm not wearing anything like incredibly fashionable right now, it's literally just a jumper, but I feel like this elevates it just a little bit, and it matches, it just goes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to these. I really like these, and it was a good investment. It was definitely not cheap. I think I spent like £78, but for like good quality, waterproof, stainless steel, like jewelry that will not like tarnish, I feel like that is a pretty good deal, and I like all of these pieces, and I'm excited to add them into my jewelry collection. Yay. But yeah, those are the two things that I wanted to open today. Also, they did come in this like cute little bag. Whenever I buy jewelry these days, it comes in a bag like this, so now I've got like tons of these bags, which I'm not totally sure what to do with, but so yeah, it's good. I enjoyed this little bit of Christmas feeling vibes, getting to open up some things that I had ordered for myself. What else is going on this week? So Joe and I actually have a cake tasting, because obviously we're getting married, and so we're tasting some cakes on Friday. The lady who's doing our cake, she is mailing us a box of cakes to try, so I can bring you along with that. What else? Gonna do some wine tasting as well for the wedding, and generally, other than like doing some small wedding things, it's mostly just getting back into like real life again. I've had a really busy few weeks. I had about a month there from like mid-March to mid-April where I was just constantly busy. I was doing so many swaps, so we did 3 swaps in that time, as well as I had a holiday, so I had to like pre-plan all of my content and film that ahead of time. So it's just been a little bit manic here for a few weeks, so I'm actually really looking forward to and enjoying a little bit more of relaxation time, because I desperately have been needing it. Oh, hello baby, come here. No, okay, goodbye. I've just desperately been needing a little bit of a break, and like my holiday was great. I loved going to Kentucky. I loved seeing my family. I loved seeing the eclipse. It was awesome, but came back and just immediately had to get back into things, so it almost felt like I didn't get the benefit of having a relaxing holiday. So I'm now just trying to slow down a little bit, get back into my routine of things, and like get back on the exercise train and the eating healthy train, because I have just not been doing that. When I'm so busy, I don't have the like energy to do my exercises and to eat right. I just want to like stuff a pizza into my face and fall asleep. Which is not the most healthy thing to do, but sometimes when you're dealing with a lot of other stuff in your life, that's all you have the energy for, and that's definitely all I had the energy for the past couple of weeks. So been a little bit off track with sort of my goals, but we're getting back on them slowly and getting to the point where we can feel good about ourselves again. So yeah, that's it for this morning, and I will bring you with me again in a little bit. Another 4 minutes for me, and 7 more laps for Joe. Bye, Joe. Have a good rest of your run. I did 2.16 kilometers, in like 16 something minutes, which is absolutely fine for me. I was trying to go low and slow because my physio has me on a plan for running specifically, and I'm currently at the point where I should be running 15 minutes every other day for a little while, and then we will ramp that up to the point where I can run a 5K eventually, definitely before my triathlon. But I'm gonna spend the rest of this time walking around because walking is great exercise and it's a nice enough day out. So yeah, just gonna walk off the rest, and once Joe's finished doing his 7 kilometers or something silly, we will go home. So one thing we've been noticing around here, oh, this light is not great, but one thing we've been noticing around here a lot is there are birds starting to come out, and Cleo has been loving watching the birds. And so we decided to buy 5 liters of bird seed to go. We're gonna like DIY a bird feeder with this little tray. I don't know how well this is gonna work because I feel like I don't know if it'll be steady enough, but I'm just gonna kind of let's just make this. Cleo's sleeping on the couch. I don't think she'll jump out the window while I'm doing this, but I think we can make it work. We'll see. So if I can just put that out there. And put some bird seed in it. Yeah, I think that will do. So now we just get to wait and see if any birds come along here and eat some seeds. If I see any, or if Cleo sees any, we will hop back on here. I'm really hoping we do, because I think the birds will be really cute and I think Cleo will really enjoy watching them. It's a very DIY bird feeder, but maybe it'll work. Got a customer. Good afternoon. So it's Thursday today, and I realized that I didn't mark off my training program. Oops, it's too many pages. My training program. So in addition to the 75 soft-ish thing that I'm doing, which I've honestly really just stopped basically doing. I didn't stop entirely. But we're on day 100 and something of the year, and I haven't finished my 75 soft-ish. But just had a bit of chaos in the middle of everything these past few months, and so had a bit of a break from paying large attention to that. But I realized that it's only 13 weeks until my triathlon, and so I made myself a little 12-week training guide, because I figured I'm sure I'll mess up probably 7 times in this time. And so I started at the weekend with my swim, and I didn't mark off that I ran yesterday, because I did run yesterday. I'm pretty proud of that. But basically I do all of the different bits throughout, and some of them get long, like running for 50-60 minutes, cycling for 2 hours. Sometimes I'm swimming in the morning and running in the afternoon. Sometimes I'm cycling and then running right after each other, just to help me get in the zone. I found this plan online, but then I made it like look nice for me, because you know me, I like to have things aesthetic, and I like to be able to cross things off the list myself, because it makes me feel better having done it, and I just like feel way more way more good about myself when I've actually done this. So the thing that I need to do today is I need to cycle for 30 to 45 minutes, which is not that bad for me, because I've been doing like physio on my knee. One of the things they suggested was cycling every day for half an hour, so I'm quite used to cycling for half an hour. I'll just chuck on an audiobook during that time, and that's been absolutely fine. So I'm gonna cycle for 30 to 45 minutes today. This morning, basically all I did was do some work. I filmed and uploaded my video for tomorrow, and I did some editing for the Patreon video that I'm also filming at the minute. I'm filming a lot of different things right now, which is fine. But I really want to get this cycle done earlier rather than later, and so I'm going to probably go do that now so I can like get it out of the way, because I'm feeling a bit tired today, honestly, a bit rough, and so I'm really tempted to like have a nap after I cycle, but I can only do that after I've cycled. But while I do my cycle, I am going to be listening to an audiobook. I'm gonna be listening to The Wishing Game. So I saw that Wild Fern read this book a little while back, and she really recommended it, highly rated it, so keen to read it as well. Got it as an audiobook. Apparently it's like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory retelling. I'm only an hour in at the minute, and it's like 11 hours long, so I've got plenty of time to get through and find out what happens in it. So it's still very new. I don't feel like I can give any adequate, accurate judgments at this point. But yeah, that is what I'm gonna go do now. I need to change, take off all my rings, my necklace, etc. I mean, I'm loving wearing the necklaces. I really like it. But yeah, I need to change into my gym clothes, and we can go do a nice cycling for 30 to 45 minutes. So turns out, Joe and I don't currently have any willpower. And we have ordered some dessert from our favorite place around the corner, and it's so much more than I need. And like, I know I shouldn't, but I'm like, I really want to eat this chocolate thing, so I'm going to. It's like a Kinder cookie dough bar thing with chocolate sauce on it, which is absolutely delicious. Yum. So this is a little bit of a difficult one because I'm still trying to figure it out within myself. So I'm just gonna like talk through my brain things. Obviously this isn't any recommendation or whatever, it's just like kind of what's going through my head. Concerning like eating, because I don't have an eating disorder. I know I don't have one, and I'm very glad that I don't have one because it can be absolutely detrimental. So I'm very glad that I don't have that. But I'm also trying not to create disordered eating and unhealthy eating habits in myself, and like I'm not necessarily trying to diet, because I don't like that phrase. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong, and that I shouldn't be allowed to have the things that I want to enjoy. But at the same time, I'm trying to be aware of the sort of food that I'm bringing into my body, the intake of food, and like the healthiness of it, as well as the number of calories and stuff. and make sure that that corresponds like about evenly to the output that I'm putting out. So it's like, it's all well and good that I went and cycled for 45 minutes, and I also enjoyed my dinner and had a snack afterwards and had dessert, and it was fantastic. And like, I'm trying really hard not to feel guilty about that, because I enjoyed it and it was fun, but it also felt like I shouldn't be doing that. And I don't like having that sort of sentiment around food. I don't want it to be that. I don't want to get into disordered eating myself. And so it's something that I'm definitely struggling with. And like, in general, I am pretty good about being healthy and eating healthily and having like willpower to not just like binge constantly. I'm glad I have that ability, but sometimes I don't have that ability at all. Like this evening when I was just like, yeah, let's just order the fun, like really really decadent, this thick chocolate chip cookie dessert with like more chocolate on top. And I enjoyed it, but at the same time I'm just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, and I'm proud of myself for only eating half of the thing. What you saw was my half, and I put the other half in the freezer, so I'm glad about that, and it's good. But I don't know, I feel weird about it, and I don't like that I feel weird about it, and I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm just talking myself in circles at this point, but maybe I should speak to a therapist about it, because that'd probably be the best thing to do. But I just want to be healthy, and I want to feel healthy and good in myself. And I know when I eat loads of junk, I don't feel good in myself, and so it's difficult because junk is also really freaking delicious. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Those are just words. Maybe some of you can relate to that. I just don't want it to seem like I am all good all the time, because I absolutely certainly am not. And like, I think that's part of the reason why I don't really show much food stuff on here, because not that I don't want to show you what I eat, because it's not that I'm eating anything bad necessarily. It's just, it feels like a weird thing. Like I don't want it to be something people judge me on at the same time, even though I am eating mostly healthily. So I don't know, it just feels, it's an odd one, and I don't know why I'm talking about this with you for like the past 5 minutes, but alas, here I am. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. Also, I thought I would talk about the book that I'm reading right now, The Atlas 6. I am thoroughly enjoying this. I am on the last like part of the book. There's how many parts are there? There's several parts, and I am on 8 at the minute, which we're getting to the nitty-gritty bit of this book, and I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm probably going to be able to finish the book tonight. I'm on page 332 out of 375, so like less than 50 pages, and I'll be done with it. And I am thoroughly enjoying it. Like, it's not as fantasy set in a fantasy land, it's more set in modern day world, but with like a fantasy aspect to it. So it kind of feels like Umbrella Academy, but more evolved and advanced and sophisticated, if that makes sense. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Umbrella Academy. I watched, I think, the first 2 or 3 seasons. I haven't watched the latest one since Elliot Page transitioned in the show. I haven't watched that season, but I have watched the first few of Umbrella Academy, and I did really enjoy them. But this is like, it gives vibes of that, but yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I think I'm gonna get through it very quickly. The only thing I dislike about this book is that I got it in the States, and it is freaking huge compared to all of my other paperbacks. It is massive. So all of my UK paperbacks in comparison are so much smaller in height. And the 2 books that I got in the States, this one, and I got Book of Night by Holly Black, both of these 2 that I got in the States at Christmas are so much taller than every single other paperback book that I bought in the UK. They're just so much shorter, and I kind of would prefer if it was shorter, because these pages, they feel like there's a lot of text on them. I mean, I've gone through it, so it's not a problem. I was a little bit intimidated by it because it is so much just larger than the books around it. But I'm very glad I picked it up. I'm very glad that I have it. It's actually one that my aunt got me for Christmas, because our like tradition is that for Christmas they take us to a bookstore and we get to pick out a book, and that's our Christmas present. And I'm like, that's a freaking awesome Christmas present. So yeah, it's weirdly big, but the book is very, very good so far, and I'm looking forward to hopefully finishing it tonight. And if I do, I will come at you tomorrow with my final thoughts and probably a rating, because yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. Okay, hi, good morning. I finished the Atlas 6 last night, and I wanted to talk about it with y'all, share my feelings for it. So, my initial rating for it has a couple caveats. I think it's somewhere between a 4 and a 5-star read. In my opinion, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The one thing that I'm struggling with is that the book doesn't really have a resolution, and I think I struggled with this with Six of Crows as well, is that it doesn't get solved at the end of the book. So like there's no actual resolution, and I really like, I know that authors do that and like publishers do that to get you to buy the second book so you can find out what happens, but I don't like, I want it to be resolved and then you can continue on with the series. I think that's absolutely fair. But I really dislike when the first book does this, because I feel like I haven't actually finished the book, because I've got no idea, like, how does the story end? How do they resolve this whole first year thing? They haven't. And so that is a little bit annoying. I mean, luckily Atlas Paradox, which is the next one of this, is out already, so I can go and read that. Sorry, my camera battery died. What I was saying is I'll just have to get it from the library or download it on my Kindle or something, or buy the other book. But I think it's only out in hardback in a minute, and because I bought this one in the States, I would want them to be the same height anyways, and we all know that that's not possible if I buy it in the UK. So probably get some sort of digital version or on loan version of the next book in this, which is good. But I just really struggle when they don't conclude the book, because it just feels like I haven't actually finished it, and I don't feel like I can give it an adequate rating because like it hasn't ended yet. And I felt the exact same with Six of Crows. Like, they very much so left the ending like on a cliffhanger, so you read the next book, and I read the next book directly after it. Luckily I had both Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom on my Kindle while I was in Kentucky, and they kind of resolved the the end of Six of Crows in like the first chapter or two of Crooked Kingdom, and it's just like, why wouldn't you just finish that storyline in that first book and then like carry on, because the second book has a whole second mission, or like journey that they need to go on. And so, like, why, like, it just feels like the first couple chapters of the second book is gonna solve the next bit. Given, I don't know, I don't feel like I can adequately rate this one properly until I've read the next one, because I don't know how it ends. So that's why I'm struggling between 4 and 5 stars, because I did thoroughly enjoy it, and depending on the ending it could very well get up to 5 stars, but at the same time I'm annoyed at it. So I really don't know. But yeah, fun dark academia read if you like that kind of thing. I don't necessarily normally like dark academia, I don't think, but I really enjoyed this. So we'll definitely be reading the second book, and once I do I can tell you more definitively what my rating of this would be. So yeah, like, I know that there's series that don't do that as well, like the Throne of Glass series. The first book of Throne of Glass actually resolves, and then you kind of start getting cliffhangeries into the next book. I'd much rather you do that. I'd rather you finish that, like, finish that story, solve it, and then kind of resolution it a little bit, and then maybe something that leads to, like, the next bit. That makes so much more sense to me, and I just don't, why can't they do that? So yeah, I am thoroughly frustrated with books like this, but I know that they do it as a marketing thing, so it's just annoying. But yeah, very much enjoyed it, and definitely looking forward to getting that one and reading it as well. So yeah, it's time to eat some cake. It's time to eat some cake. We have cake. Cake! So our cake maker, whatever you call them, baker.
Baker.
Thanks. Our baker, the person making our wedding cake, obviously is not local to us, because we're not getting married local to us. And so we either have to go visit them to try cakes, or
get it sent to us. Which is what we did. They come in this lovely gold packet.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Cute.
That is gorgeous. So this is who's doing our wedding cake. But look how gorgeous this box is. It is stunning. Shall we do the honors?
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Come on. Oh. Dear Emma and Joe, please find and close your taster samples. I hope you enjoy them. Do let me know what you think.
So our baker, our cake maker, was maybe like on the fence about doing postal boxes, and this is maybe like one of the first that she's done, but she's absolutely smashed out of the park.
Yeah.
Emma's just emptying the contents onto the floor.
Hey, you're not gonna drink the English breakfast tea, are you?
But it's really lovely. It's so nicely and so thoughtfully put together.
Here's a napkin.
Oh, thank you.
Here's a napkin for me. And so basically what she said was, if you come into the shop and get if you try the cakes there, you get like a cup of tea and stuff, which I don't think we're gonna make a cup of tea for this, because you don't drink tea, but I think we should just try some cakes. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Heck yes. Okay, so we have what apparently is a finger-sized portion. So what one person would get as the wedding cake piece, which isn't very huge, but I mean it's fine. So we picked 6 flavors. Do you want to read them out?
I can do. We have classic vanilla and raspberry, classic chocolate and vanilla buttercream, classic vanilla and strawberry, rich chocolate fudge, cherry bakewell, and moist lemon. You can probably see a bit of a theme in that we're quite boring when it comes to...
No, we like the classics.
We're pretty...
It's not boring, it's the classics.
We're pretty straightforward people.
Okay, so where do you want to start?
I think we should try as best as possible to alternate the colours. I kind of feel like the classic vanilla and raspberry.
That's where I was gonna say too. Okay, let's start with that.
And then I think we've got to go to a chocolate.
Yeah, so
But
either
I don't know which chocolate yet.
classic chocolate and vanilla or chocolate fudge.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna say do classic first.
Yeah. You need to understand the classics before you can
Get into them fancy ones. I could take this. Cake is very moist, which is nice.
Oh, she's got like special paper printed.
Yeah.
It's so lovely.
Right, I'm gonna cut this in half and so we can.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're just gonna eat all of this cake, right?
Gotcha.
I mean, it's a lot of cake, but I will take it.
Yeah.
Excuse the fingers.
Thanks.
You're not gonna like save part of it to taste it against other things in case we need to double taste? Because I'm not letting you have pieces of mine if we need to double taste. That's okay.
Yeah, that's just really lovely. Really lovely. Classic.
Classic raspberry.
Right, should I try and do this in more than one bite this time?
Probably.
Well, I think it's the best way to get the right proportions of buttercream, right?
Yeah, you're very odd at eating cake.
Bottoms up. It's nice, but I'm not crazy about it. I think the thing with chocolate cake is like, unless you're actually introducing something that is chocolatey and not just cocoa powder, you just get like a bit of a like more bitter sponge. Which, I don't know, maybe some people like it, but it's not for me.
Maybe the rich chocolate fudge will be...
Yeah, introduce a more chocolatey element.
Yeah. Yeah, so far, as of right now, I prefer the raspberry.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer the raspberry or the strawberry?
They're both pretty nice. I think raspberry, just because I like raspberry more.
Same. Okay, cool. I'm glad we can agree on that.
Fantastic.
So far, raspberry is in the lead.
Yeah.
Do we want to do something like the lemon to mix it up?
Lemon is like a palate cleanser.
Lemon is a palate cleanser.
Mm.
And then the rich chocolate fudge, and then the cherry bakewell last.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you open the rich chocolate fudge for me, please?
I can. I'm just going to finish my my classic chocolate.
Well, so no matter what, I have to compare the ones that I like to the most at the end. That's why I've saved bits. Because I want to know, like, between two, if I'm going to have one bite or another, which one would I rather have? This one is moist. I mean, I should hope so. It's the moist lemon.
Oh, do we need to get a vegan cake alternative?
Yeah, but we can get a small one.
Yeah.
For our vegan friends out there. I love a lemon cake so much.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you, lovely. Yeah, it just slaps. That's the best one so far.
Yeah.
Sorry, raspberry.
Well, raspberry's still in number two slot. And if we were getting a multi-tiered cake, we could get multiple flavors of different tiers.
Yeah, that lemon's really good.
I just love a bit of lemon cake. Chocolate fudge me, baby.
Rich chocolate.
Rich chocolate fudge.
Oh no.
What the?
Oh no.
Joe! Have you ever cut a cake before. We're gonna have to practice before our wedding if this is your cake cutting skills, babe.
Oh, well, give me a knife, not the side of a fork.
Should we get like a really fancy knife to cut our cake? So this one's rich chocolate fudge, but it still has like plain buttercream in the middle.
Mm. Yeah, I mean the body or the sponge is so much like moisture.
Yeah, it's almost like a brownie tasting.
Mm.
I much prefer that to the normal chocolate, the classic chocolate.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it beats the lemon, but it's delicious.
I mean, it's really good. It's just different.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to compare like a chocolate cake to a lemon cake and say which one's better.
Mm.
At least I don't think I can do that very easily. And then the last one is cherry bakewell. I'm gonna do it on your plate because you seem to have lots of space. Don't touch it. I'll clean my fork of all the chocolate.
Mm. Good idea. Has that got like very, very small crushed almond in it? Or am I imagining that?
I think it's got almond flour in the cake.
Mm.
It's definitely like almond sponge.
Yeah.
It's delicious though.
Right, I think...
So, right now, the bottom three are our favorites.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go moist lemon, classic vanilla and raspberry, rich chocolate fudge, cherry bakewell, classic vanilla and strawberry, classic chocolate.
Okay, so I think mine is moist lemon, cherry bakewell, chocolate fudge, raspberry, strawberry, classic chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think moist lemon is the winner.
Moist lemon wins. Well done, moist lemon.
Who doesn't love a moist lemon cake?
Yeah, I mean, I think...
And if they do not like it, they're wrong.
I think as soon as we saw it on the option list.
Yeah. We both know we like moist lemon cake. And now I get to eat the rest of these while you have to watch me.
Might put the kettle on.
Can I have a tea, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. But yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. Thanks for sharing that with me.
Such a lovely box. She smashed that. Well done.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Alexander Hughes really doing the good work up in here with these cakes. One, these cakes are delicious. Two, the box, fabulous. So, yeah. Very, very pleased we have done this. And glad that I get to eat more cake now. Cleo has decided that I'm not allowed to do any more work because she has my chair. And she really loves it. And I can't possibly take that away from you, can I? No, I can't. It's okay. I can do work on my phone, right? From the couch, right? So it's actually a very wedding-y kind of day because I told you we were doing wine tasting as well. And so we've got some friends coming over this evening and we're gonna do some wine testing. Yes, I printed out some little tasting cards so we can all rate them. And we're going to do a bit of a blind taste test to see what people's favourites are, what our favourites are. It's just more fun because, like, Joe and I aren't going to drink 8 bottles of wine on our own. Like, that's absolutely outrageous. I think I would probably die if we drank all of that in one night. Not that I think we're going to drink all of them anyway. We might. I don't know. But we've got some friends coming around, so it's not going to be, like, an outrageous amount to drink. But I'm going to go to the store now and get some snacks that we can have with the wine, like charcuterie board style. I really love making charcuterie boards. So like little nibbles and that kind of stuff. So let's go. So I did one board that's exclusively vegan stuff with hummus in the middle, olives, carrots, grapes, oatcakes, grapes, olives, raspberries, apple, tomatoes, and dates and crackers. And then this one is the meats and cheese board because we don't have any like vegetarians, we just have vegan or eats everything. So made this one the most inclusive, and then this one for the people who eat meat and cheese. I also have some olive bread that I want to cut up. An olive bloomer. I love olive bread. But I'm pretty proud of my charcuterie skills. I think they look great. I mean, the only bits I did for the meat was fold up those bits of ham. I really don't like working with the rounds because like they just don't do anything. So I'd much rather like do a little crudité platter like this because I think that looks really freaking cute.
Here we go. The beginning of the flight.
So I did my annual photo shoot this morning, and so I've pulled loads and loads of plants out and made like a beautiful little planty environment over here, and it's just so nice to sit surrounded by all of my plants. I mean, obviously it's not all of them, but it's such a vibe. But yeah, so I did my World Naked Gardening Day because that's next weekend. I mean, I don't know when this exactly is going to come out, but it's coming up very shortly for me. And then I took my annual plant family portrait because I think my 5th Instagram birthday was a couple weeks back, and so I like to take, because if I'm pulling all my plants out to make a nice little area, I may as well to kill two birds with one stone and take my plant family portrait as well. So I did that with Joe this morning and it was quite fun. We are feeling like a little bit not ropey, but like ever so slightly hungover because we did drink last night, and it was really fun. It was fun to try some wines. We found some that we did quite like, which is good. So there's possibilities there, and it was good to just see friends and hang out and do some wine tasting fun. But yeah, that's kind of what this morning has been, and I've just basically been spending my time editing those photos for Instagram, deciding whether or not I want to do World Naked Gardening Day as a reel as well, because how I take these pictures is I film video clips and then I just screenshot the video clip because that just makes it so much easier than having to have Joe like click the button 1,000 times. Though he does help me with these and help to like direct me and make sure that I'm covering all the necessary bits. But it's always a bit of fun, and like I really enjoy it because I get to like show off my plants in a fun way and like work on body positivity. I know we kind of talked about that earlier in this, and like it's hard because I want to feel comfortable and safe and good in my body, which I'm not always feeling these days, but this like whole project, the fact that I do it every year as well, helps me to feel better about myself and my body, because like I feel like so much myself surrounded by all my plants, and like I feel like part of the jungle, and that helps quite a lot. So that's what I did this morning. I am actually my voice is going, actually needing to go run my 15 minutes for the day. I know that's not much, but it's part of my plan, so I'm gonna go do that, and I've actually convinced Joe to come out with me, which is awesome, because then I don't need to do it alone. It's much more fun when I do it with him. I'm probably not gonna bring y'all with this time because I don't want to bring my phone with me, but yeah, that's what we're gonna go do now. But other than that, just having a really chill, relaxing day. I'm gonna have to put all of these plants back at some point because they're everywhere, but I really like the vibe of having such an incredibly planty corner. Like I almost wish I could have this density of plants all the time in my home. I'm really not very good at ending these vlogs. It feels weird because it's like obviously I'm just talking about what I have been doing for the past week, so like like it doesn't really end. My life doesn't just end at the end of the vlog, so it feels weird to like cut it. Oh hello baby. Yeah, so it feels a bit weird, but basically I think this is where I'm going to end the vlog. Honestly, I didn't do much on Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday I was actually feeling really unwell. I think I got a bit of a like stomach bug or food poisoning or something, and it was not very fun. And so we just did not do anything. We had a very much so couch potato day yesterday, because I wasn't feeling well. But I'm feeling much better today, and so very glad about that. I did really quickly want to put this here. It feels weird sharing it because, I don't know, it's just a strange one, but I know that some of y'all have been asking if there's anywhere that you could give Joe and I a sort of wedding present or contribute towards something, and we're actually not doing like registry presents because we've lived together for so long that like we don't really need at-home stuff, but instead we're doing like funding towards our honeymoon because we're hoping to do our honeymoon in Japan eventually. And that's probably going to cost a pretty penny, especially after the wedding. So I have actually set up a buy me a coffee website where you can essentially buy Joe and I a drink on our honeymoon. Really, you really do not have to do this, but if you felt like you wanted to, it is there. And I know some of y'all have been asking, so I'm just gonna put that there. But like I said, no pressure. If you aren't into that and you don't want to do that, that's absolutely fine, but it's there if you want it. But yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!